What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Morr-isMoore podcast. I'm your host, Shaq Morris.
I'm your host, Morr-isMoore.
And this is episode 8, right?
That is right.
And we have a very, very special guest
Very
with us
special.
for this episode. I told y'all we're coming through with guests this time. So, right here to my left is the only Kameron with a K that I know.
Wow. What an honor.
No, but video editor, director of creative content, producer, on-air host. What can this man not do?
Accolades.
Yeah. So
We'll list
most
down the
talented
top
person
for
I
you.
know, Cam DuPaul. What's up, man? Thank you for
Good,
coming.
everybody. No, thank y'all for having me. I'm excited.
Of course, I
Yeah, we're
appreciate you
excited.
being here. You know, you took out your time of this long home trip for you to come say what's up. And you know, I missed you, bro. It's been a
Oh,
minute.
really?
It's been a minute.
No, it has.
It's been like what, 8 years since we met, probably. Yeah.
And I feel like the last time I saw you was I came to one of y'all's games, and I think we just briefly ran into each other in the locker room.
It's
or-
like, bro, what's up?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, yeah. It's been a minute since we last, caught up.
But we've always stayed in touch. That's
Always.
something that I really respected about him.
Always.
Despite us living in different cities and having so much stuff going on, we've always supported
Keeping
each
that
other.
connection, yeah.
Yeah, that's,
For sure.
and that's something that I always hold a lot of respect to, is people who
Yeah.
still can hold on to that connection despite where they're at in life,
Distance
where they're
and
going.
time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's important.
Oh,
Because when I met you, we were in
New York.
New York.
Yes,
And now you live in L.A.
I do. A whole different era.
That's
Big jump.
That's
Yeah.
a huge jump. Different culture.
Yeah.
I mean, you used to the tall concrete buildings. Now you way out in the city, boy.
I traded the concrete jungle for the Hollywood Hills.
Exactly.
Which is
Okay, see, look, you said
actually
it
my
better.
address
than
where I live. That's a little flex.
me.
A little flex,
A little
huh?
bit different than my life in New York.
So how you liking L.A.?
Yeah, man, LA's been really incredible. Being from Wichita, Kansas, I always had this deep desire and aspiration to want to one day work in the entertainment industry, work in Hollywood. But the only city that I ever wanted to live in was New York. That was
Damn,
just as
really?
important to me as
Big Apple.
making it in life, was just making it to New York. So I was out there for about 8 or 9 years, and it was such an incredible experience. I got to do so much. It kickstarted my professional career in the entertainment industry, and it was just a vibe. It was everything that I could have asked for New York to be, plus more. But one day, I just decided to make the leap of faith. I never wanted to live in LA.
Man.
And anybody who knows
Yep.
me, they're like, Cam was a country boy who always dreamed about New York, and that's it. But I was kind of
country boy.
bi-coastal. I was in LA a lot, to the point where people thought I already lived in LA because I was out there so much. But it just wasn't my vibe. I just always looked at LA like a city that I just worked in, and that's how I wanted it to be. I was like, I don't want this to feel like home. I want
That's
it to feel
crazy.
like a couple days, and then I'm back headed to, headed back
Headed to the
east.
concrete jungle.
But yeah, I mean, life, man. For who I was during my New York chapter, that's what I needed,
Yeah.
But now that I live in LA, I'm just a different person, and LA just speaks to the vibe, the energy that I'm on. And so
Okay.
I try not to even compare the two, because the Cam that was in New York was the Cam in New York, but the Cam who's in LA is a whole different Cam. He's a little bit more leveled up. But who
Yeah.
knows? The next level may be back in New York. I'm never going to say never, but I do appreciate my softer life living in LA and out of the hustle and bustle and
Man.
the grind of New York City.
No, I love
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I love that because New York, even though I was there for a short time, I was like, there's some damn hustlers
I'm tired
out
talking
here.
about it already. It's exhausting. No, I'm just kidding.
Like,
but
there's some hustlers out here. And then it's crazy you said that about how you felt about L.A. previously, because I was like that. I was like, every time I went to L.A., I was like, I could never live here.
Yeah.
I hate it. When I'm landing on a plane, it's a little extra overcast of gas and airplane dust.
But man, I
I'm like-
love it now. It's so weird. I'm so much happier in LA. And one thing too that was always important to me when I was just navigating the day-to-day hustle of my career and my life, I knew that at some point I was going to end up having to work and live in LA, because I just think that for me and all the aspirations I've had as a creative, as a filmmaker, and all these different things, I felt that it was important for me to get an experience in both markets and in both cities. And so I never wanted to get stuck in New York, but not experience what LA has to offer, because I knew that being able to say I lived in both cities was just going to make me much more of a well-rounded individual and a creative, and to have the networks and all of that type of stuff. But one thing that was important to me is I always told myself when I lived in New York, I want to move to New York when I feel like, or I'm gonna run that back. I told myself that I wanted to move to LA when I feel like LA needed me and I didn't need LA. So by the time that I actually made the leap of faith and moved to LA, it was just like, now Kameron Mack just so happened to live here, and now he about to shake stuff up. Versus me moving to LA and having to figure out myself and navigating and networking. Like, I didn't have to do all of that. I knew who I was. I knew my voice. I knew the type of creative I was. I knew the type of influence. All these things that people go to LA lost. I was like, no, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on who I am. And I think that helped my transition so much more, because I didn't get caught up in the, like, let me prove myself, let me, rub elbows with all these people and let them know that I'm here. Like, when I moved to LA, people knew I was in LA. They were like, oh, you out here now? Perfect, great, let's work. So that was really great for me.
That says a lot about, like, who you are as a person.
Yeah, it definitely shows a lot.
Like,
I see that, thank you.
And it makes me even more curious, because, it takes a person with character who takes that leap of faith.
Yeah.
And so, like, what's your story? Like, how where'd you come from? How'd you get to where you are? Like, what steps for people out there who's like, dang, I strive to be a creative person just like Cam. Like, how can they do it as well?
Yeah, so
that's deep.
One winter in January in 1989, two people met and they decided to, have an adult. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to mom and dad. But so from Wichita, Kansas, I grew up right here. I always was the young, curious guy who had a desire for storytelling, for working in the entertainment industry, but I didn't know at what capacity. I was an extrovert, introvert. Out in public, I was the overachiever. I was class president. I was a dancer. I played soccer. I was in debate. I was in music. I was in choir. I did theater. I was just like that guy who was just out doing a lot, but I really wanted to find myself. I knew at a really young age that I was struggling with my sexuality. I knew that I was struggling with my identity. I knew that I was questioning what it meant to be a black man in this country, let alone a black man in a small town like Wichita, Kansas. So those different type of things really led me to want to seek things that made me feel like me. And so I definitely was out trying to discover myself through different verticals, through different mediums of art, creative. At home, I would lock myself in my room. I used to get in trouble. It's weird. I would almost get on punishment for being in my room too much. So my punishment was coming out of my room. But I was just the kid who was just watching so many movies and so many different TV shows because I was so curious about the world, because as a black gay man in Kansas, there wasn't a lot that I feel like I had to really learn about myself or other people or other cultures or other walks of life, because it can be very small-minded, bubble, everybody kind of do the same thing, or black young boys are told that they have to be one thing. So
and I know your brothers, they very masculine men.
I'm gonna get to them. I'm gonna get to them. But no, but to your point about my brothers, I am the younger brother of the former NFL player Kameron Mack, who is also a Wichita native, and I'm so proud of everything that he was able to accomplish in his career and with sports, and being able to make the mark that he made and to be the person that he is today. But that had a huge impact on my development, because I had someone in my household who literally became the person that I knew I did not want to be as it pertains to the sports of it all. Because it's like, I so badly did not want to be compared to so many other boys or told there had to be one thing, but it made it that much more challenging when your brother literally is the person that everybody is trying to tell you that you need to be, or you need to act like, you need to talk like, you need to, look at his footsteps, look at the path that he's paving. He's showing you as a black man how to be successful in this city and in the world. And I'm like, that's the complete opposite. So I almost feel like a lot of my desires were rebelling from the beliefs and the different type of societal pressures that people put on me because of my older brother. And my younger brother too, as an elder to another black man, then you started. For me, I started to kind of feel as if like, oh, but it's now also my responsibility to be a good role model to him, and I don't want my sexuality or the things that I'm doing to be impressionable on him, where people are blaming me for why he made, all of these things that were just stupid that I was thinking of that was just on my head. But I say all that to say, I say all that to say that my family dynamic was really great, and everybody had an impact and an impression on making me become the person I am in a really, really positive way. And those desires that I had from being a storyteller and that curiosity of wanting to work in the entertainment industry, it just led me to just going for it. I started modeling at 10 years old. I started dancing really young. I started doing theater really early. I can see how everything that I went through in my childhood played a huge part into who I am now. Like the sports and, playing soccer and running track.
Multi-talented.
But all of that had a purpose. The debate taught me how to, be better with public speaking and getting confidence, which goes into my job now. Obviously the arts, doing things like choir and theater, like that all, that's pretty clear. But it all may not have made sense to me and everybody at the time. But now I look back and I'm so grateful for all the different things that I did, because I would not be the, like you said, multifaceted or multi-passionate person that I am today. But to fast forward through everything, and I just, stayed the course on wanting to be a storyteller. Thought I was going to be pre-law. I thought I was going to do entertainment law. That's how I was going to use my talents as a public speaker. But I really quickly realized after doing some internships that wasn't what I wanted to do. And then I transitioned to broadcast journalism, to doing more news focus, commentary, and just, work. And then I double down even more. It's like, I don't want to just do the news. I don't want to just be a journalist. I want to be an entertainment journalist, and I want to, do what I saw the hosts and the disc jockeys on MTV doing, and E! News and all those different things. And fast forward through college, and that's what got me to New York. I started at MTV and VH1 through a really great program called IRTS, which gave me my start. So I was a little protege. And once I graduated from the University of Kansas, it was honest. I moved to New York a week later. I knew I had the internship my senior year of college, so I was one of those kids that thankfully was able to enjoy college, because I knew I already had a gold ticket waiting on me at the end of graduation.
Willy Wonka, huh?
Yeah. And shout out to them. I just did a Willy Wonka campaign.
Come on now.
With Timothy
Yeah,
Chalamet?
it was. It wasn't. He wasn't the talent for it. We used creators, but yeah, it was a campaign that I worked on with work. But yeah, and then just once I got to New York, working at like companies like MTV, VH1, I just started to do more. Started like wanting to learn as much as I can about different types of TV. So I worked at. I did the VMAs. I was doing reality shows. I was doing dating shows.
I think I've seen some of them.
Yeah, it was so. I went to Cincinnati for a couple months and did a show with Nick and Drew Lachey, and then flew to Atlanta and did like a black female ensemble, kind of like Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta Housewives type show. So my resume, it's pretty all over the place. But I just really wanted to learn different types of TV. I wanted to know how different type of television was made, and and then I transitioned eventually to being on air again at Revolt, and doing more or balancing the on air stuff with MTV, and then I ended up at Complex, and I'm speaking through a lot. And at Complex, I was doing everything from producing, directing, and hosting, and then eventually Will and Jada Pinkett Smith announced their production company, Westbrook Media.
Yep.
I literally dropped everything and said, that's the company I want to work for. I'm moving to LA. And here we are today.
Damn.
Wow.
We really deserve a round of applause.
Yeah, that's a hell of a journey.
Obviously, I skipped over a lot, but yeah.
No, but
yeah.
I'm going to let you talk, I swear. But
hey, you're good.
I'm going to take it back to, as a young black man.
Mm-hmm.
Again, and this part of the story really hit me too. Growing up as a young black man, they only teach you is a few ways out the hood.
Right.
You gotta sit here and be a dude that play with balls and go to basketball, football, do that. Or you gotta fiddle with mics, rap, do this, production, beats. And then the other way, the least path that black men take statistically, is go to college, do all that. Scholars. But you got to get scholarships by doing the first two or whatever.
Right.
And so, like, I commend you on that because that's just, like, how do you find your passion how you did, and come from somebody who wanted to be different and all of that.
Yeah.
Because, like, me, I'm like, yeah, I played professional basketball. Still do, but it's like, after all this is said and done, what the hell is my passion?
Yeah.
When I got to put it down, I don't think I want to coach. I don't think I want to do too much with basketball, but, like, I see you doing your complex and all of that stuff, and I'm like, damn, that is dope as hell. Like, you living the dream, So, you got anything you want to say? I'm just saying, like, that's just.
No, were you going into something like a question?
No. I just wanted to state that. So.
Well, also, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I was gonna say too, for those that are in that same situation out there, like, what got you on the path less traveled? Like, was it just dedication? Was it certain skills you had, or did you just keep on pushing through?
Yeah. I know it's going to sound cliche, but I knew at a really, really young age that there was something special in me. And I think that there's something special in everybody.
Sure.
Like, whatever that is looks different for every single person. But I knew really, really early, as early as, like, almost elementary school, really? I felt like that there was a greater purpose for my life, right? And although I may not have understood or knew what exactly that was, I always believed that there was something different about me, and there was something that I was put on this earth to do. And so as I started to really, again, to try to unpack certain layers and to explore myself, the communities that I was in, the opportunities and resources that were accessible to me, I just really tried to make sure that, like, with everything that I was doing, I tried to understand, like, the why of it all. Why do I want to do this? Am I doing this because my family's telling me you should do this, or am I doing this because I actually enjoy it? Am I doing this because I think that it may look good one day to a college recruit or whatever, Yeah,
the motivation.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of L's. I definitely did a lot of stuff where I'm just like, probably could have skipped that part, or kind of, didn't really need to go through some of the hardships of that chapter, but it all kind of, like, ladders up to just the journey that we're all on. But I would say that, oh goodness, I'm not gonna get emotional. I would say, like,
do as you please.
My stepdad was really, really he played a big vital role in that, because my stepdad was the first person and the first black male, just male, period, that I feel like validated what I always knew was inside of me of, like, there's something special. Yeah. I was playing football. I know, believe it or not. I was doing the routine of just like, okay, when I get to this age, I was told I have to play football now, like my brother did, and just, the cycle of, like, in Wichita, this is what boys do. At this age, you do this. By this age, you do that. And I remember my stepdad one day, just out of the blue, was just like, you don't play football, do you? And I was just like, so shocked that he asked me, because even in the black community, kids don't get a lot of choices.
Yeah.
If your parents tell you playing football, doing this, you just do it.
You're doing it.
You don't have to.
So the fact that he even asked me that was so just, like, monumental, because I'm like, wait, you're actually asking me what I want? And I was like, wow. I think I was maybe 9 or 10, because I started modeling, like, right after that. And I remember being like, you mean I have a choice on what I want to do and who I want to be?
That's powerful.
And he said, you don't want to play football, do you? And I said, no. And then I remember he looked at me and he said, I don't want you to think that you have to be your brother, And him saying that, it was this huge sigh of relief, because I was just like, I didn't even realize as a kid how much of that I was carrying,
But that was, like, such a huge thing.
It was such a huge thing. And after that, I really feel like I was able to tap into something that I don't think I would have been able to tap into, because I still would have been so afraid of the pressure of not wanting to disappoint somebody, most importantly disappoint myself.
Yeah.
And so I started, like, my mom and my dad started putting me into modeling really quickly, and so that kind of made me feel like, okay, I will be the one black dude who's modeling, which I know people don't, have something to say about it. Which there was a lot of adults that I even overheard making comments about me when I quit football at 10 years old. It was a big deal. But my parents really protected me, and we were able to just unapologetically just say, hey, this is the path we're putting him on. This is the path that we're going, and
mind your business.
And and that's just what it was. And so I started modeling, I started dancing, I started getting more confidence being in plays and doing theater and stuff, and still, like I said, running track and playing soccer, and still, I'm like, just because I want to do this stuff don't mean that I can't be just as excited about the athletic stuff. And then eventually over time, that confidence just continued to build, and then I started to go, okay, what would a career look like? And the other big moment in my life was understanding that whatever it is that I was going to do, I knew that I wanted it to be impactful to people in the Black and brown community who are under marginalized communities, specifically the queer community, because I started to tell myself, I just want to be a role model and a reflection of who I feel like I may have needed that I did not have. Once I started looking at my life and the opportunities that were ahead of me with my career like that, everything just became clear. And although I didn't necessarily know what exactly was the title I was aspiring for, if I would have had this conversation at 17, I would have never said one day I'll be a filmmaker. I never would have said I would have been a director or a producer, because at that point I was either going to be, like I said, an attorney, or I was going to be just a journalist. Yeah. But now, I wear those titles with so much pride, because I feel like I found my real true passion and my purpose. And again, just to close the loop, had it not been for my dad in that moment at a really young age, and then for me being able to understand that I had an opportunity to make an impact on communities that looked like me, that contained people like me, that changed everything.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Really is. I can see why you guys are friends in that way too. That's how he is, and you guys are just good people. So
you're good people too.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we homies now. We fam.
Yeah.
All right, so this is something that I ask every single guest we have, and so I just want to ask you.
We got a few,
especially with your story. Are you religious?
I am. Well, I'm not necessarily religious, but I am extremely spiritual.
Okay, spiritual.
Okay. Man, heavy on the spirituality, because let me tell y'all, look, I'm going to keep it short and brief. Look, I know y'all say y'all do conspiracies and stuff. Believe me or not, I'm telling y'all, a higher power has spoken to me many times. It is great.
Come on.
I don't care who you believe in, what you do, what rock you may pray to. Look, if you believe, you can get some answers to some questions.
Yeah. Come on.
And there has been moments in my life, y'all, I've had dreams where I call him God, spoke to me in Hebrew.
Yeah,
I don't even speak Hebrew. I woke up the next morning what was that? And why was that person screaming that at me? And I would spend the entire day researching and trying to piece together the blurriness of certain words. And then and then it was a moment where I came across some Hebrew words, and I was like, that's what they were saying in the dream. And it was exactly an answer to what I was deep in depression about. And I also talk very openly about mental health and depression.
Yeah, no, we support that, of course.
So it was whoa, and just the other day, and I'm not going to get into the specifics of the dreams, because I do think that some of them is very personal, but just the other day when I was just reflecting on where I'm at in life and where I want to go, I had a dream, and I'm telling y'all, if I gave y'all the details and the specifics, maybe we can do it off camera. All right. Y'all would be no way. And I'm telling you, I was knocked out. It wasn't me just thinking of this stuff. I was in a cold, hard, deep dream, and this was the message. This was the visual. This is what happened to me in the dream. Damn. Imagination, I don't give a damn what it was. Something in my mind was creative enough to tell me exactly what I needed to know, and I've had so many moments like that. So very spiritual. I definitely have had, that's the more of the positive side of it. But on a deeper, harder side, I've also, experienced some hardship and some really tough lows, and intuition, whoever, God, higher power. I've had big moments in my life too where I could feel something was happening, or there would be a series of certain events that would point to a certain direction, and then that would actually, you know, I know they say, like, you know, you get what you put out. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But there's just stuff where, like, I mean, even a situation where I would, like, you know, there was one time with something that I called my mom on, like, a Tuesday and confided in her in something. I was like, hey, this is what's on my heart. This is what's on my spirit. This is what I, you know, think is happening. This is what I think is at risk. And that exact same thing happened, like, a week later.
Damn.
With no coincidence. Like, was just like, hey, I feel like something like this could happen. And it just happened.
7 days later. God.
By that Sunday, exactly what I feared. But, of course, not in the same form. It wasn't I said, oh, it's going to rain on Sunday, and then it rained. but it was like, I feel like a storm is coming, and the forecast was showing sunny, and then all of a sudden, that storm showed up.
Yeah.
You know? Damn. So, yeah, very spiritual.
Damn. Will you define that for me? Like how you define spiritual?
I just believe.
The best you can.
Hold on, first off, I'm a follower of Christ.
Period.
He doesn't like to be put in a box. He doesn't like to be put in a box.
But that's why we have this, because I don't. If you are, if you're not, I don't care. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So right now I'm at the intersection.
So we just
even I'm more over here. But
come on.
Now it's gonna be Morr-isMack Moore.
No, there you go.
Okay. Last guess was more his way. See,
that's true.
So I need.
You got to keep it shaked up.
The bookings are booking.
The scales need to tip all the time.
We love a range of talent and voices, but I mean, but to quickly answer your question, for me, I think that spirituality is just a connection with the flesh, with the earthly presence of who we are, with a higher power on a spiritual level, and whatever that is different for everybody. That's why I try not to get so focused on religion, and I just try to focus on just like whoever you feel makes you you. Whatever energy that is, you know. Again, I follow Jesus Christ. I call it God, but
I'm more the same way, because like I feel like us as humans, we like to limitate God. Like I feel like the old ways, they just like that God can't do this. There's no way he can, and they limit him. And so I'm like, wait, hold on. That don't make sense to me. So
ain't no way the person who I know that is in me, that I see, that I feel, that I experience, that is love. Ain't no way it's this white man with this perm.
Yeah,
like, it's just not that. So I'm not gonna pretend that it is. Like if that's what it is for you,
ain't.
Like, for all I know, God may look like Britney, because she might. No, you know, Britney Spears.
No, God's definitely not white. That's for sure.
Look, but if he, she, they, them, I love that. I love it.
That's real.
Yeah. Whatever it is, I love it, and I'm so grateful. And shout out to it.
Yeah, race.
Shout out to it.
Race, you need a little it in your life, man. So
I mean,
yikes.
I put the positivity out there. I wait for it to come back.
Hey, no,
whether you see it or not, I feel it in you. First impressions matter, and your energy has been A1. So
I try to keep it A1, man. We stay upbeat around here.
You know what? I know what it is, though. I don't know if you want me to tell people this, but he told me he prayed the other day. So I'm going to just leave it at
Yeah, we were just editing the video where we talked about last time I prayed. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, it was just about, what did I say? It was, I think, my family members. Yeah. I have a sister and my soon-to-be brother-in-law, and they say every night we pray for you. And my biggest point about that is I don't really believe in prayers personally, but it's not the prayer that matters to me. It's them spending their time at their night to think about me and send out good thoughts.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, but the one I did recently here, we went to a church for New Year's Eve, or not, sorry, New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve. And they said, let's do this prayer with us. And I said, I'll give it a try. So it's all in your head, you know, you just talk to yourself.
The openness.
So I do it. I mean, I try to be as open as possible. And they said, hold up your candle. We'll give you this. It's a Bible with some other stuff in it. It's called New Spring. I don't know if you've ever seen that one before. Okay.
Yeah.
It's by Andover and stuff. I think, doesn't Sierra watch it?
Yeah, we've been in New Spring.
Okay. So they said you can either hold your hand up or do a text. I didn't feel like holding my hand up at the time just because, you know. So I sent the text in. They're sending me a Bible over, and I plan to read through the Bible to be fully open on that, you know. Like I can't talk against
you said
religion
you
if I
need your
don't even
knowledge.
know all the details.
Look,
You know?
Yeah.
no judgment here. Do you believe in manifestation? Like putting out certain affirmations or desires or wishes to the universe and getting those back in return?
I
You
never
know-
asked him this. Let me. Come on, Cam.
So,
Mack.
yeah, you got some good ones.
Morr-isMoore, let's go.
got some
Season
good ones
2,
here.
cut the check.
Facts.
So, you said manifesting stuff. So, what I always tell people is everything happens for a reason.
Okay.
And I realized, not necessarily being hypocritical, but I didn't even know what that meant. Like, what is the reason? Who's making it a reason? Right. So, I mean, that's how I see it is there's something happening for a reason. I'm not on a dedicated path, but everything does happen for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. That's just how I feel.
See,
So that's the best way to kind of encapsulate me is I don't think anybody's doing it, but I think it's still happening. Right. So that's the best way to explain myself on that.
That's your definition.
Yeah.
I rock with it.
Perfect.
I rock with it too, man.
I know you
No,
do.
I love you no matter what. But yeah, outside of that, we think about coming to LA. We're gonna pull up on you.
Please. But if you're gonna talk about it, be about it. Because
Oh.
I would say if I had to do like a ranking on the number one, I'm not going. Let me not say that. On what people say the most when I'm in town, it is like I gotta pull up on you in LA, and I'm just like, okay.
I'm about it. I'm really.
But they
about
don't.
it.
Is that
But
what
they
you-
don't, yeah. Like,
They get stuck in traffic.
I'll
It's
pull
almost like
up on
7
you
times
before.
out of 10, if I'm interacting with somebody here, that comes up. Like, I gotta come to LA, I gotta pull up, and 9 to
See-
10 times out of 10 they don't.
Yeah.
See,
You
this is
know?
the thing. I've been to LA. I've told you multiple times, but every time I come out there, I'm like, all right, hold on. All right, me and my girl will get together. All right, now let's go do this, and then we'll do some like Midwest stuff out in LA. And I'm
LA
like,
offers that, but that's why I also
Yeah.
like LA, because there's not one way to do LA. There's not one way to live in LA. Like, LA really does offer like a wide range. Like, if you want into the cowboy western stuff,
I wanna
LA
know
still
your
got a
way.
whole community.
I want to know your way. Come kick it with Cam, see what it's like.
My way.
I heard you party hard.
Don't put that out there. Don't put that out there. Chill. Cease and desist. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, okay, so let's talk about partying. Or let's talk about LA culture, LA life.
Yeah, I want to
This
ask about
is what I
that.
wanna-
Yeah.
Go
I want to
on.
hear it.
So, being a young person in Hollywood, it does come with a lot of temptation, a lot of socializing, a lot of events, a lot of, opportunities to be thrown off course, distractions, all those things. And I mean, those things were there in New York as well.
Discipline, man.
Yeah, but I always say I'm just like, LA can either make or it can break you, but that's the same thing that can happen here. Like, it can happen anywhere. Like, if you ain't focused, like, you're not going to survive wherever you're at,
Yeah.
And so I think the cities like New York and LA just test you in different types of ways. But the same skills I feel like that I have to bring to navigating and staying focused in LA are the same type of discipline I feel like that I would need even here or wherever I am. But with me, I did the whole Hollywood scene stuff, but I've been now in the industry for over a decade. Like, I moved to New York in 2012 and started working at MTV and VH1. So I've definitely have seen and have experienced a fair share of enough in Hollywood to know now where my priorities lie. And I'm not the boy who feels like I have to show up and go to every event to be seen to try to validate myself or to make myself feel relevant. I feel like my work is going to speak for itself. My hustle is going to speak for itself, whatever. And for those people who do that, it is no knock to them, because I have a lot of friends who are in spaces where they have to show up. It's a part of their brand to be seen like that, and that's what works for them. For me, or for what I feel like I need to be successful or to get myself, like, I just can't do that, but it doesn't make my journey different from the others when it comes to that, or my journey better or anything. It's just what we need in order to reach our goals or to be our higher selves are just different. And I just know that there's certain spaces in the LA scene that I just don't really need to occupy like that anymore. Now, will I still pull up? Do I still like going out and like having a good time with my friends every blue moon? Yeah. But I'm also, again, reflecting on how long I've been in the industry. I'm just like, okay, the game is over. I've been playing it way too, I've been playing it way too safe.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm proud of where I am. And if God or, if whatever happens in my career next and it all goes away, I've gotten to a place where I'm like, I'm proud of myself, But I also know that it's still just the beginning for me.
It is.
And I know that I'm not going to be able to tap into that if I'm still out here chasing the scene, like caught up in all the wrong type of stuff, because that's where it's so easy to go left. And I see young people all the time, both when I lived in New York and LA, they just don't have it. They just get focused, their focus is just on the wrong things. And that's where it goes back to the childhood of just like knowing that something was special and being able to just like lean into that and just trust it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the industry, society tries to tell me that I am or whatever, like I know that there's something special in me. And so when I'm showing up in spaces, like, no, you may not give me the Drake treatment when I walk up into this event, but in my heart, I'm gonna act like I'm just as important as a Drake. You just don't see it yet. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the work until when I do enter these spaces, I know that I'm the reason for the party. Y'all here because there's a Kameron Mack in the space, and not always being someone who is just happy to be there.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
But
come on now.
But let me also
That's
say this.
that confidence.
I've had some
You
wild
got the
times.
confidence with the weight behind it,
It's oozing on me.
But I've had a good time. I'll say that. I'm young. I've experienced. I wanted to get to know the world and the ways of it and the beautiful things and all those problematic things that can come from it. No, but you got to live to also know what you really want and to have an appreciation for all of that. So I've had some fun.
That's awesome.
I know we talked about the party side. On the work side, who's your I bet it's hard to say, but who's your favorite, I guess, person that you've been excited to work with?
Great question. And I don't know why I never think to prep this answer before I do any of these type of press moments. But I honestly can't say just one person, because I'm inspired and have been influenced by so many different people. And when I think about people like Will Smith, who at a really young age, watching him from the range of the works that he was super known for back in like the early 90s, 2000s, being able to see a guy go from the character of Will Smith on The Fresh Prince, but seeing him in transition into Independence Day and Men in Black and all these different characters, Ali, all these different, The Pursuit of Happiness, all these different characters, it inspired me and it fired me up to be able to go, oh wow, like from a story, again, storytelling, that's always going to be at the core. Like I'm learning about different types of black men, through incredible actors like him. I'm inspired by the Oprahs, being a young poor black woman who was able to work her way through a very white dominated space to be able to do what she did.
Super successful.
In television. So me, again, wanting to be a journalist, wanting to be someone whose stories had an impact, regardless of what people say about Oprah now, whatever, I know that a lot of the ways that my seeds were planted was me watching people like Oprah do what she does best. And so there's people like her, of course, the John Singletons, the Spike Lees, a lot of those different, filmmakers and stuff had a huge impact on me. Like watching movies like Crooklyn and Eve's Bayou, and just may not having the most understanding about some of that as a kid. But
Crooklyn.
Fresh, Boys in the Hood. Like I just have so much appreciation for those.
Fresh. What you know about Fresh?
What you know about Fresh?
I'll whip you some chest right now.
Boy, you better go get a Samuel L. Jackson. But yeah. But yeah, man. Like there's been so many people who have been really impactful in me. But Will, obviously, because I work with him. Being able to experience him firsthand has been really incredible. Yeah. I've had the honor and pleasure of interviewing a lot of different celebrities who I've always looked up to. That has been really, really great to be able to not just admire them from a distance, but to see their greatness
Yeah.
in person and to experience the aura that is them. So there's a lot that I could
So
say.
has it been anybody that you've been like starstruck about? Like, oh, when just seeing them. Like,
yeah. So
oh, that's freaking Britney
Yeah, that's a
Spears.
good question.
well, shout out again to Britney Spears because
Shout out.
I just recently did the video, the visuals
Yeah.
for her memoir, which Britney was my number one pop star idol of all
Oh,
time.
of course. Everybody's growing up.
Like I love Will is my male idol, but even in this world,
come
Britney trumps everybody. But to answer your question, my first day on the job in New York City, fresh out of college, on my internship at Viacom, Adam Sandler was the guest on the show that I was an intern on, and that was the first moment that really hit me that my life has now begun.
Yeah.
The young aspiring scholar that I was at KU and back here in Wichita, it all had prepared me for a moment like that. And Big Daddy is another movie that I grew up on.
Mr. Deeds.
Shout out to the Dylan and Cole. But that was just a moment where I was like, oh my God, like I've watched you growing up, like me and my brothers, like summers and just bedtime and just putting on a movie because the VHS era and stuff. I'm like, you are that guy. Like you have so much power that sometimes these actors don't even realize on the audiences that they're creating content for. And so that was a really, really crazy moment.
Hell yeah.
I learned a lot because that was the first celebrity that got in trouble for asking for a picture of the job.
Oh,
yeah. I was just so big-eyed. I was like, oh my God, can I have a picture? And the talent rep at the time was standing right there, and she let it play. And then afterwards, she definitely hit me with
don't do that.
Interns. Do not ask for photos or autographs of talent. You guys are working. You have to be professional. And I was so scared. I was like, oh, God. It's my first day.
Get rid of me.
Yeah. But it taught me a lot. And,
learning experience.
Yeah. And now I've been able to see celebrities just as humans.
Yeah.
And I view
talented
them,
humans. Yeah.
Yeah. Because people ask me all the time, like, what's it like working with so many celebrities? But I also had to tell myself, like, we all got a job to do.
Yeah.
Either you here to be interviewed by me or I'm here to interview you, but we need each other.
Yeah.
And once I started kind of looking at my work with them like that, I feel like it definitely helped to make me a lot more comfortable around them because obviously, like, you're going to meet people that you're going to be nervous about or that you're going to be a little bit more anxious or excited or, just nervous because you've heard that they were, I don't know if y'all cussing here, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they an asshole or
yeah,
whatever.
you can say what you want.
Yeah. But, you just start looking past it. Like, I definitely have, interviewed a lot of celebs, and I was like, bro, you are trash, but let's just get this over with,
Well, for example, so obviously I had to take a look at your Instagram. He sent that over so I could be like, okay, what is he working on? What can I ask him? I want to know something. Exactly, yeah. So based off that, too, you obviously work with a lot of high-profile people, and, you do a lot of, like, just a lot of crazy stuff, like, on hands-on to, like, media out there, right? Mm-hmm. Like, big ranks. So of course, when I was gonna meet you, I was like, I didn't know what to think. Like you're a famous person as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Which you are. But like that's just what I got from the Instagram. And then of course, meeting you, you're a great stand-up guy.
Oh, thank you.
Like there's so much special about you, but at the same time, you can still just be person to person, natural. Right. Like people aren't different like that. You just have to give them a chance. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's the problem with you. Like people expect Leonardo DiCaprio, whatever, like to be your best friend, or not even that, but to be like a god. But he's just a dude. He's good at his job, but he's a dude. Mm-hmm. So I like that. That's
that's something about Will Smith. He humble as hell. One time, my family ran into him long time ago. It was like back in 2008. I think this was Hitch days or something like that.
Oh, really?
And he was, I believe he was in New York. And they were just taking pictures, and he was like, "Hey, can I hop in? Hey, what's up? What's up?" And I was like, "Oh, that's cool as hell." He's a humble guy. Yeah,
he's a great guy.
Yeah. Really great guy.
Adam Sandler, by the way, I'm pretty sure he was in Wichita.
Yeah, I was
about a month ago.
That.
You about to do it too?
Yeah.
Someone saw what's his name? He played one of his best buddies. Got the curly hair. I can never get his name at first.
Like another comedian.
Yeah, but he's in almost all of Adam Sandler's movies. He got bitten by the shark in 50 First Dates.
What are you talking about? I forgot his name. Sorry, but
Adam
we can
Sandler,
pop it
though.
up
We're
here.
talking about Adam Sandler. Okay. I know we're talking about
We'll
Will
pop
Smith.
it up right there.
Yeah. Deuce Bigelow.
That guy.
He was in a
American
Walmart, like maybe 15 miles from here.
I was like exclusive. It's so crazy you brought that up. I'm just gonna say, remember this conversation. It will all make sense.
Yeah.
Either within a year or at least 2 years, but I promise.
Okay.
Deuce Bigelow, we're gonna come back to that.
Deuce
Oh,
Bigelow.
Okay.
super exclusive.
Interesting.
Little teaser.
Yeah, that's just crazy timing though that he was late. Just
But yeah,
out
that
here
was just
then.
a few weeks ago, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I love
saying.
that.
And then you come
So
into
you
town
just-
too. Like I'm assuming both from LA, right?
He went and hooped with all
Yeah, I
the
don't
Wichita
know
State
him.
dudes. But he's on a
Yeah, I
tour
saw the
right
pictures.
now.
Adam Sandler just in his basketball shorts, just hanging out, doing his thing. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool as hell, man.
You got a question?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I was just taking a look again at the Instagram, what stuff you've done, and I want to talk about some of the events. So the ones I saw were we got Pride Bowl, we got CultureCon, and then this one I wondered, #Buy Black Friday. You can talk about whichever one first, focus on one.
Look,
But just what are some of those events?
It's
like
all
what do
about
you
you,
do
man.
and like just how is it?
Yeah. So Pride Bowl is a gay flag football bowl that was hosted in Chicago.
I seen some highlights. You was out there, weren't you?
Bro, I'm
I
a
see
football
you was
player
out
now.
there. Yeah, no, you was
I'm in my
nice.
football era, and I love that for myself.
He out there snagging.
Yo, I'm that guy now. Which is also crazy. Talk about journey. For me to go from being so anti like football specifically, and now playing on a flag football team brings me so much joy. It is
That's
like
dope.
my creative, like
Full circle
not my
right
creative
there.
outlet, but it's just like a outlet outside of my creative world that I just thoroughly like. Oh my god, I love playing football so much. It's so weird. And it helps me and my brother connect a lot more too because we now have something in common. I definitely call him for advice or give him like stats after the game and just all that stuff. So I'm really thankful that football ended up being what also brought us back together. But so that was that. I have another tournament coming up in Vegas in 3 weeks, which I'm excited for. But I play on the LA Flag Football League. It's co-ed. It's every. I mean, it's 50%. It's honestly probably more straight guys than there is gay. But but it's a good time, man. But I love that. Again, it's just an outlet outside of the creative world. CultureCon is a conference that focuses on Black and brown creatives. We make everything move. Culture, nothing moves without us, is some of the the slogans and taglines that they like to say.
And it's pretty fast.
It's made up of just all my friends. Like
Really? That's
it
dope.
was, Imani Ellis, the creator and the founder. It was a winter storm, and I'm so mad that I missed it. It was a winter storm in New York one time, and I think me and her had just got lunch, and she was just having lunch with all these different creatives, young people, because we all moved to New York like the same year. And when the winter storm came, it was like, well, none of us got work, we're snowed in, but like, how about you guys pull up at my house and let's just connect, and kick it. I can't remember why I couldn't make it, but I missed that. But then when everybody pulled up, she kind of had the idea of like, oh my god, like look at the community of people in my living room.
Wow.
And, and she started to expand on that, and so she created the Creative Collective NYC, which was just like a collective of Black and brown creatives, and it was just all about community. And
That's
she
super
then
dope.
scaled that. And she turned the events that she was having for the Creative Collective into, how about we do a conference that is for Black and brown creatives? And CultureCon started as, like, again, a small little conference that scaled up to now it's the biggest conference in the world for Black and brown creatives.
Damn.
That's amazing.
And so I'm thankful
Another
that I've been able to
applause.
see, huge round of applause.
For real.
Shout out to her, Eric Jones, Michael, Skylar, like the whole team. I mean, Lily, like, it is an incredible beast of a team of just some of the most brilliant young creatives that are in the game right now. And it's just been really exciting to see where it started and to see what it is now.
Yeah.
And then to speak to the last thing about Buy Black. So #Buy Black Friday was my Facebook watch show that I was the co-host with Elaine Welteroth. And as someone who, again, had experience, who my background also is in hosting as well, that was the biggest show I've ever hosted. And it was with Meta for Meta. Facebook.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and so that was really exciting. I already was doing like influencer campaigns with Meta as a creative. They were doing like different like spotlight pieces for Pride. They did a feature on me.
Okay.
Their Instagram for business did like 2 different things with me. So I was like in my brand bag that year.
Yeah.
And I mean, Meta as a brand who's backing you is a huge opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was an honor to be spotlighted and featured across so many of their different campaigns.
Yeah.
And just with staying in contact with the different members of those campaigns, you know, they were just talking to me about like, oh, well, we also have this show called, you know, well, I don't even think it was like a show. It was just like we had this thing called Buy Black where last year during Black Friday we got a host, and I think it was like a live stream. It was like very, very chill, like small, like webcam type show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And not to get into the specifics and stuff, but yeah, and then we started having the conversations. I decided that this could be something that could be really, really big. We started looping in more people. Brought Westbrook into the mix.
Westbrook. Shout out Westbrook.
Shout out Westbrook.
Yeah, I saw that.
The Westbrook team.
Yeah, you always credit the team on there, I see, yeah.
Westbrook team understood the assignment and was like, yo, we can make this big. And we just assembled some of my Westbrook fam now with my Meta family, and we were all able to come together to create the show. Somehow in the mix of it was like, we're also going to have you be the host. And I'm like, what, word, you know? And so that was really exciting. And again, the little Cam who had all these dreams and aspirations about wanting to, you know, make an impact, to be at a peak in my career. And again, we still going up, but to be at that level of my career and to be able to be working with a brand like Facebook and Meta, and then to have it be this beautiful intersection and this hybrid of what I was doing with my Westbrook family, it felt really good. And you know, we're supporting Black and brown businesses and small businesses, and you know, we were bringing people like Jaden and Lori Harvey and Dina, like all these really dope guests to come to try to make this moment special for these small Black businesses on Black Friday, and to put the Black dollar back in the Black community. It was important, it was such a good experience.
Too, man.
Yeah.
People need to realize how important that is, for sure.
Follow the dollar.
Follow the dollar.
He's taught me a lot in that regard.
Yeah.
Through time recently.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
No, that's awesome. Now the last one,
my boy.
Yeah.
How you stay so organized? Like, I'm sure a day in the life of Cam Mack is hectic. So how you like stay so organized, plan everything out? What is a day of work like for you?
I mean,
I like that.
I know
that's
it
a
varies.
great question. Yeah, I mean, it definitely varies. Every day is different. I have to show up different. I can't show up the same way that I was the day before. I will say, part of the reason I've gotten to where I am so quickly and why I make it look good is because, one, it's a lot of just I really focus on my experience, you know, like I try to always take away everything from each day, each project, each network, each celebrity. So how I show up, I'm able to kind of like compartmentalize.
Yeah,
Compartmentalize?
Yeah, thank you.
No, you're good.
The fact that I talk for a living now, I'm struggling with words.
No, you talk quick though.
But it's just, I don't know, it's just like a confidence that I bring into my day, right? And to explain that, when I go into my day, I'm able to kind of like decode what my priorities are, and to categorize things into like, okay, this is what I know I need to do today, and this is what requires this part of me, and this is what requires this part of me, and okay, you know. And so with my organization, because and I hope this don't come back and bite me in the butt next year, but I will take notes and stuff, but I'm somebody like, I got it. You know what I mean? Like I can be on a partner call and I can soak it in.
I'm sure you've had it.
You know, you take a brief and I'm like, oh, that's what you're looking for. Got it. And be able to like, you know, just know that like, okay, and I know that I can confidently bring that to life. And so that it's that on sets and stuff, there's a certain confidence that I feel like that I have because, again, putting in the work. It wasn't that I was always confident. It was just that like I did the work, the research, I studied, I became a true student of what I do. And being a true student of really anything, you can't just focus on one thing. So I feel like what makes me successful, or what helps me with just the organization of it all and what I bring into the day-to-day, to go back to your question, is like I made sure that like I really focused on being a strong writer.
Yeah.
I made sure that like I sharpen my communication skills. I make sure that I'm studying different directors that I may be on set with, or watching films to be able to understand certain things. I make sure that like if I have to show up as a host, that I've studied or that I put in the work, rather for myself or for other hosts. So me being a good host makes me a better producer because I know what the producer's looking for.
Yep.
Me being a good producer is because of the work I did as a director. Me being a good director is knowing what it takes to put something together in post with an edit. So all of those different things, I put in the hours, I've studied. So when I go into my day-to-day, I'm not as overwhelmed as people may think, or like, how do you balance it all? It's just like, same thing with basketball. I'm sure some stuff probably just comes natural to you. And I think for me, for what I do, I'm so grateful that I'm at a stage in my life where some of it is natural. Like it's just in you, like it's just in me at this point, Yeah. And so rather it's jumping on a call or having a conversation with the team, or having to do a last minute shoot, or having to come up with a social idea, I try not to ever work from a place of panic anymore, because it's like, Cam, you got this.
Yeah.
You know how to do this,
That's that self-confidence again. I love it.
Yeah. And then I write. I put everything on my calendar. So let me also make sure that I say that too. I'm somebody who I will put some. I mean, everything from like call mom. I'll put it on the calendar. Because I nobody's perfect, and although I do a really, really good job daily being able to keep track of everything, I do that to hold myself accountable. Because your to-do list at the top of the day can look very different from your to-do list at the end of the day. Yeah. And so by putting stuff on my calendar, it does kind of help to keep me accountable for some stuff. And so that has been a really great tool that I use, is just, making sure that I have a really organized calendar that is both professional and personal.
For sure.
And just, give myself grace and saying, hey, give today as much as you can, what you can. There's always tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beyonce got the same 24 hours in a day, and I'm not curing cancer or COVID. So relax, chill. This is all fun. You got this.
For real.
So you'd say confidence is pretty much kind of key in what you do, right? Because if you didn't have the confidence, people probably wouldn't respect you the same, right?
Yeah.
So
that's tough.
That's a huge deal. Important. Confidence in yourself, regardless.
And of course, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance and cockiness and all those different things. But when I speak about confidence, I speak about just how you show up to life in general. It's not saying that I am the best at anything. That's not the confidence.
You're capable.
Yeah, that's not the confidence that I carry, or the type of confidence that I want to exude. For me, it's just like, whatever life throws at me, I got this. It's like that type of confidence, right? And I think that's what helps me with the different types of hats that I have to wear, because it's real easy to panic or to kind of like, and I have to get out of that, because I used to experience anxiety with certain work or even just personal scenarios. But when you just give yourself grace and just take a deep breath, like, you just remember, like, the confidence comes from the one step at a time.
Yeah. Not
knowing that, like, oh, I can do this in 10 seconds. It's like, no. However long it takes, I will do it if that's what I put my mind in my, and I put my mind,
good.
I just know that if I put my mind to it, I can do it. And so that's more so where the confidence. And I mean, I guess if I have to be a little cocky with it, it's just like the cockiness side comes from the reminder to myself of like, Cam, remember when people thought you were just going to be a little black young gay boy in Wichita, Kansas, who would never make it out of the city, let alone
you got to keep a little bit of that, be like,
that's that fire, boy.
Like, look at me now, kind of a deal.
I tap into my cockiness when I'm thinking about that. Yeah. And that doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It's like, remember who you are and where you come from, and walk into that room like, one, you know that you're meant to be there, but two, you know what's at stake.
Yeah, like, again, you don't have to prove yourself.
Exactly.
Right?
You've motivated me throughout just hearing you talk. No, for real.
I say, it's going to be
real.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to be motivated by what you said so
I only
far.
got two more questions, so you go ahead, whatever you got.
Okay. You said you have one more question left?
I got two, so you go ahead.
Well, what I was going to ask you is, what's that about? We got LeBron or somebody being tossed in your hands?
He'll pop it up.
Yeah, I'll pop it up on there. I just saw that and I had to ask.
Hey, look, it's
Did you see it?
No, I did not.
There you go. You got the 2 hands coming out of the head type.
It's funny that that's actually a video. I don't know why it's not playing, but
No, I took a scrrscreenshot of it. That's
okay.
I saw that moment. And I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Okay. So, I was one of the commentators for MTV's 2015 end of the year countdown.
Okay.
So, I mean, you all see the Talking Head specials, end of the year recap of just different hosts, talent coming together to talk about the biggest moments of the year.
Yeah.
So, I did that for 2 years with MTV. Again, crazy, like super grateful. Shout out to MTV.
I'd say a lot of MTV, yeah.
Yeah. So that was from that, and I think that it was maybe like, I don't know, anniversary. I don't remember what that post specifically was. Maybe it was something going on with Bieber. I talked a lot about him on the special, but I think it was just a Throwback Thursday or something. But yeah, that's those videos are from the MTV special I did for the 2015 end of the year biggest moments. And then the arms was me just trying to be creative. So
having fun.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add something fun. Because with my socials too, like it's been a really interesting journey to figure out what my voice online is and what my brand is, because I try to be a walking representation of who I am, but I also want that to come across authentically on my Instagram.
And you're a lot too. You're a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right? You do a lot of things.
Yeah.
So.
And so sometimes I'm at a stage right now in my career where I just put some stuff up and I'm like, it is what it is. I don't care about the likes, the engagement, the impressions. But I think with that particular post, for whatever reason, I didn't want to just post the video as it was. I was like, let me be a super creative director. And what if I added arms coming out of my head? Like, just making it wacky and just goofy.
No, I love it. I mean, heck, someone noticed it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole point.
So that's that.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I have left on here. So you've obviously worked with a lot of people and stuff. What kind of brands do you like the most? I've seen you work with Maybelline, a couple on there.
I know he liked Just Water a lot.
That's true. That's true.
Shout out Just Water.
Yeah, free sponsor right there.
I ain't got nothing to do with that. But anyway, finish your question.
But still.
PR.
So what other brands you've worked with? And obviously, I don't know if you can choose a favorite, like we talked about who you've worked with before in general. But as far as like a brand, either the project you really enjoyed or the product as well as the project you enjoyed the most.
Yeah. So I've been doing branded content for a while now. Again, it was not a area of the industry that I thought that I was going to tap into. I started doing branded content more so at Complex. And so I got to work with a lot of really cool brands. And what I was able to learn about branded content during that period of my life was like, yo, some of these brands will put a bag behind your ideas. Like use their money to make what you want. And so that was something that was really new to me was, okay, how can I create organic content that still checks the boxes of everything that I want to do as a storyteller, but now I can put some funding, but still pushing the product, whatever it is, their KPIs and stuff like that. And so that was something that I was very unfamiliar with, and it was something that I'd had to learn really quickly, how to organically have my creative ideas ladder up to brand ideas, because every brand is different. Every brand wants something different. Some brands are like, no, I just want a sponsored by, just give me a logo at the top of whatever the piece of content is, and that's that. Other brands are like, no, put my stuff in the background, on the table, on the shirt, in the graphics, and it's just like, whoa, but it's no longer what we want. Now it's an ad, it's a commercial, and the moment that so then you have to also educate them on why that doesn't work. But some brands
will get the balance in it.
Yeah, they just don't see it like that. They're just like, I don't care what you're talking about. I need you to get in that little creative bag and sell this product on this show or to do this. Yeah. So that has been, a trial and error. It's been a really, roller coaster of learning how to navigate that side of the business and stuff. But I love it, and I won't say that there's one brand over the other, because I think that every brand has value. Every project I've worked on with the brand had value, and had impact, and was necessary for what it was we were doing for that project. So, but I will shout out, Logitech.
Okay.
That's a brand that I've done some really fun stuff with Westbrook as well, on my Westbrook team. Like I got to direct some stuff with Willow and Jaden. I got to create and produce a piece with Lil Nas X for Logitech and D-Smoke. And then
I did see Lil Nas X one too. Yeah.
And then we kind of circled the block a couple years later, and Logitech ended up being the brand partners for a film that I just did with my Westbrook team. And some incredible creators.
No
shout out
spoilers.
to child director. I mean, it's not out, but it's known. It's known. Like, we've
Okay.
done screenings. It was at Cannes. We won best, the jury award for best short film at Essence Fest, and we have some exciting stuff coming up as well. But yeah, that was another project that I did with them. So with Westbrook, and that project is called On the 8 Count. So
Okay.
it's a really powerful documentary that's all about copyright law, ownership, giving credit where credit is due, and being able to celebrate, Black and brown creatives in some of these spaces and giving them the platform, the resources, and tools to not only be successful, but to protect their work as well, because you as an artist, and even with your
That's
podcast,
important,
you want to protect your stuff. And
That's real.
a lot of time we put stuff on Instagram or social media and we just let it go, and we don't realize that, like, hey, if that went viral, that became a trend,
It's not
there's some value there. You should be getting a check if you saw
Yeah.
your dance challenge in a movie.
That's real.
Exactly.
You
You
might need to
should.
get it back. So
Yeah.
so that's been really exciting to work with Logitech on that project. But shout out to them. But yeah, branded content it's been really fun, and I look forward to bigger and better brands. Not better, because every brand is great. I look forward to more opportunities.
More
with
opportunities.
There
more
we go.
brands.
There we
Yeah.
go.
That's the way to put it. Well, I would say, so we'll probably talk after this. I want to get kind of like a rolling feed at the end of just stuff you've done, so that way, our viewers can check out what you've actually, movies-wise, commercials, just a bunch of your work, so they can actually appreciate that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll
that'd be
ask you
fun.
at the end what's next. But
Yeah.
last few questions.
Yeah, you go over
here.
some questions here.
I know you're probably tired and like, get the
No,
hell
I'm
out
good.
of
This conversation has been great. Y'all are
Good.
top tier.
This is honestly,
Appreciate it.
unless we're talking about, usually just me and him about a conspiracy that's really wild, that's,
could check
we're
out
not
some
prepared
other
for this
episodes.
type
I
of
was
thing. So
expecting that.
we're
Once y'all
playing it
said
by-
that, I was like, let's talk about a conspiracy. What
No.
y'all want to talk about?
we will get into some of that.
He'll take
Yeah,
you
I'll
down there.
pull it
I'm
some
here.
All right. Mental health awareness. Just how do you go about, staying mentally strong through everything?
That's good.
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's an important question. I think it's always, for everybody, going to be a daily struggle. Rather, not daily struggle. You have to be present every day to maintain it, You could be the happiest person in the world one day and the saddest person in tomorrow
The
if you're
next
not, in touch with that and aware of what you're either being exposed to, where your mind is wandering off to, what you're eating, consuming, who you're dating, who you're, doing other stuff with, whatever,
Yeah.
But for me, it has been a journey. I definitely have battled with mental issues throughout my life and throughout my career. But I'm at a really good place now where I have a good grasp on it all. And I owe that to therapy. I think that it's important to talk to professionals.
Yeah.
Rather, your life is going good or bad. Like, I talk to my therapist about everything. Like, some people think that therapy has to be if things are like, oh, you want to kill yourself or life is so bad or depressed. It's like, no, like,
Yeah, like
therapy,
a last option.
Yeah.
Be
The good
something
and
you
the bad.
happy about. Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about my therapist is the life coach, my dating coach, my sister. I shout out to Mercedes, but I think like having that dialogue with her just always helps me to check in on where I'm at. And for so many years, I wasn't allowing myself to do that because I was an autopilot. Like, I was an overachiever at a really young age because I was seeking all this external approval. I was trying to find myself, and I was trying to define, to the point where I became obsessed with success and growth because I felt as if, like, once I got to a certain destination in my career, that I would all of a sudden be happy. And so things that I probably should have dealt with at younger ages or past trauma or unfortunate events, I wasn't as focused on them because I was in autopilot of just go. Like, once you get to a certain point in your career, you'll be better. Once you get to a certain amount of money, you'll be better. So I swept so much stuff under the rug. And so when I got to the point in my adult years where I was able to acknowledge it, I knew that the only way I was going to survive, because again, so many, specifically like, Black queer people, like, so much of our lives is based on survival. Yeah. I was able to say to myself, okay, do I want to keep living my life trying to survive, or do I want to survive by living?
Thrive, yeah.
And that kind of really made me put a lot of attention and focus on myself. So I'm like, it don't matter how much money, how many awards, how many projects, how many celebrities I work with. If at the end of the day, I'm not happy with myself, like, none of this stuff's going to matter.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where it no longer was mattering.
Wow.
It no longer was enough. With you think about addictions too. Like at first, like, okay, yeah, getting drunk, that did help. I felt really good being wasted or that high with those drugs or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I felt good. But after a while, the more you do it, it starts to fade away. And you realize how it was like those temporary dopamines. My success and stuff, I was starting to look at it like that.
Temporary
It no longer was doing what I needed it to do. And then when I'm at home at the end of the night after a long shoot and I'm sitting with myself and I'm like, doing that miserable, was that worth it? And then I started to ask myself, like, actually, no, it wasn't. How can I start showing up from a different perspective? And if all of this goes away, like, what will be my foundation? Who am I outside of my career?
Yeah,
like,
I'll take notes.
And so when I started to focus on that, it made me realize that the same way, going back to being a student, the same way that I was a student with things in my career to be the best version of myself in those spaces, I had to become a student of my own mind. And I had to feed my mind with what it needed in order to be healthier.
Yeah.
Same thing with sports. If you want to perform at your peak, you have to train, you have to practice, you got to get out there and play the games, win or lose. If you're a bodybuilder, if you want your muscles to grow, you just have to do certain things, and it has to become a discipline. It has to become a routine. And so I started to try to focus on my mental health that way, and that helped me a lot. And so I started putting a lot of attention into like wanting to get my mind better. And once I started to do that, like things have gotten like night and day. So
I see you working out too all the time.
Oh,
you
yeah.
taking care of your body.
And fitness is important to me. I'm gonna be cute and snatched. I don't care how sad I am. I'm gonna make sure that it's all together. But even with fitness, because before I started playing football, I was definitely like the gym was an outlet for me too. Yeah. I never wanted to be a body boy like that. I don't care about having a whole bunch of muscles. I just want to be like toned and live a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. And so that was something that was really helpful for me. And out in LA, I have a community called Win It Wednesday, and it's just all types of people, all different walks of life.
It looks amazing. I want to be in there
And it's a great workout, but beyond the workout, the people, the energy, the spirits that are with us, man. Shout out to Style Bell, the guy who founded it and the guy who runs it. He by far is one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. Yeah. Just because of who he is, his energy. He's a walking example into what I feel like so many of us need to be more like in regards to how he shows up for people in community. He hosts this workout every Wednesday in his beautiful multi-million-dollar backyard in Baldwin Hills, but for free, rain, shine. He's like, you don't even have to ask me, are we working out today? Just show up at the house. And and the community of people, it's just we be in there working out, and at the end, he either he or someone else gets up and they do a lot of motivational, just speeches and just really firing people up to tap into their greater selves from a mind, body, and soul. It's a great way to also just network. So from a professional standpoint, I've met, videographers, close friends, people who moved to LA that I may not have had the greatest relationship with, but now they started coming with me to the workouts. And so now we have that. And so we're able to foster a deeper connection that way. So yeah,
you said Wednesdays, right?
Wednesdays.
Yeah, I might have to.
You roll up the legs.
You said free. I need to know.
Yeah, everybody be like, "Okay, what's the move this week?" I'm like, actually, forget about the parties on Friday, Saturday.
Come here Wednesday.
You want to come work out with me on Wednesday? How about that?
I'm gonna be there for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But that's love. Yeah. All right. Last question before he throw his conspiracies. Okay. So what would you say is your personal ultimate goal? Like, what you want to be a movie director, or I know it's unlimited. I see the potential in you.
Yeah,
obviously, I see the potential in you. I know whatever you want to do is gonna come to fruition. So
I receive that.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, not your end goal.
I want to know what he want to do. Like me, for me, it was my whole life was I want to be in the NBA. Fell short of that. Still it isn't out
Cheated.
the gates for me to be there if I
Right.
want to go. But I want to know, what is that top tier goal for you?
That's a great question. I think just because it's easier to answer it from a professional standpoint, I definitely want to create another film. I've been doing a lot of writing. This year was the year of Kameron the writer, for sure. I wrote my first screenplay, and I also wrote my first TV series.
Oh, that's dope.
Again, never thought that I would be someone who would be a creative writer, long form.
Yeah.
But here we are, two whole scripts done.
Wow.
Chick, chick.
Yeah,
Check.
and so bringing those two concepts to life would be the ultimate goal. Obviously, there's a billion other stories I would want to create, and I want to continue on, writing more scripts now, and I'm so fired up for different type of stories. But for me, even if I only bring one of these stories to life and make it, it's like, what more could you want? You did exactly what you said you wanted to do with your life.
See?
Which,
that's what I'm talking
and
about.
so
That's big.
I really look forward to 2024 and seeing where that passion leads me. So that would be like a professional short form. Obviously, of course, it's not about the trophies and stuff, but it'd be nice to win an Emmy, win an Oscar
Heck yeah.
for my
Have a little
work.
shelf with some bling.
no,
on it.
hey.
Yeah.
It's more so just to like get it engraved in history. Like, yes, like I would be proud of myself, whatever. But it's just like when I think about like that legacy, it's like I want my name to be right there,
That's
saying
that
he
legacy.
was here and this was his time. So that would be something for that would definitely something I want to do professionally.
Thank you.
Life goal to live freely. Whatever whatever that means,
Whatever that means.
I mean, America is ghetto as hell. So whatever I'm doing, I pray that God affords me the resources to be able to just
Amen.
continue to explore the world
That's
and
real.
to experience a life of happiness from multiple cultures and entry points. So, of course, my career could be a really great vehicle to that. But I don't want to put put that type of happiness into a box because I don't know what it looks like.
Exactly.
I just know that, I just pray that one day I'll be able to just not have to worry about, getting good grades in school to get into college. Get a good college, get good grades in college because one day I want to work in the industry. Like, our lives are always based on all these different, steps and stuff. And I think for most of us, the ultimate goal for any of us is just to be able to live and not have to worry about what's coming next. And so
comfortable.
that would be that. I also want to one day own my own production company and be a company where we create everything from short form to long form content. So
Talk
lots
to
of
me.
work. Yeah.
Tell me why I just see it all right here.
I want
Just
to be
happening.
married with kids. I want to keep my waist under 30. I want
Oh man, no, that's amazing though.
Thank you.
Now to hop into races.
Is this the hot topic segment?
Races, hot topics.
I don't know about all that. So I have some questions I like to go with just guests in general because
Now I'm nervous.
we talked about that. No, it's nothing crazy. But what I would say is after this, if you end up check out the episodes, I want to hear what your thoughts are on what we've talked about in the past. Because we've talked through some pretty wonky stuff, but also some like maybe kind of stuff, So, I mean, what conspiracy do you believe in the most? Out of anything, do you have any conspiracies that you've ever followed in your life, or is that somewhere you've kind of not looked into?
Yeah, I mean, conspiracies. And for me, it's like I definitely don't want to say the wrong thing. But I do love that conspiracies is like your own opinion. It's like whatever you believe is what you believe. And that's the great thing about conspiracies.
And you can believe in multiple things that even contradict each other in some ways. Like,
but one
that's the fun of it.
But one I will say to answer your question, and I'm only saying this because it's a current trending one, is y'all better get right because the world ain't right. I recently watched Leave the World Behind.
Yep.
Ooh.
And look, I'm like, word, Obama? Like,
Okay.
Barack, Michelle,
what you doing?
say what you saying.
Yeah.
Do I need to be in a bunker or not? So I think that's something that has been very top of mind and has been a hot topic. And I was just talking about it with my brothers, and it came up in a conversation the other day. But I do believe something is happening. I'm
No,
like,
I-
the fact that Trump's still out here wilding and he ain't in jail yet, I'm like, I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm about to bring up the war in politics, but I just feel like there's a lot going on, and it's a lot deeper than what we realize,
You know,
or some of us realize.
It's crazy you
Behind the
say that
scenes.
because billionaire in Hawaii, what's his name? Building a bunker, $1 billion bunker.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zuckerberg.
okay.
And I'm like,
And Oprah, apparently.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Someone over.
Whoa.
A lot of Hawaii
Don't-
stuff.
Fact
They
check
know
that.
something
Fact
we
check.
don't.
I think
Yeah.
Oprah is also in
No,
Hawaii.
yeah,
I've heard a
Oprah-
lot of that.
Oprah,
Yeah.
she owns a lot of the land.
Because
That,
they were saying when the
It's like
fires
500
happened.
when the
million or
fire's
something
happening.
like that.
Look.
Yeah.
But again, do the research. Fact check.
do your own
Yeah.
research.
Oprah and Mark may know something.
They know something that we don't.
There's a reason why
otherwise-
Elon out here trying to figure out underground tunnels.
Oh yeah.
Nah, that's real.
Yeah. That the Tesla stuff was pretty spooky if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
look at
leave
that
it-
because you're like, that's possible.
Have y'all
You
seen
know?
the movie?
Yeah, he made me watch
No
it. I didn't
spoilers.
even realize.
Well, I mean, probably spoilers for the viewers, but
Yeah, I'm sure you all have seen it. Yeah,
if
it's
you
all them,
haven't seen it, go
piling
see
up
it.
just to block off transportation through the country.
Yeah.
Like it's so smart, but very possible.
And
With self-driving, like it's that simple.
and
you know?
apparently somebody I don't know who it is, but somebody who predicts stuff, but not like super whatever. Someone I read somewhere that something or someone predicted the technology was going to turn on us and the smart cars and all that stuff.
AIs.
Yeah, I mean not even AI, yes,
Yeah.
but there was something that was directly connected or people were able to use as a reference to the Teslas in the movie where it was like this was predicted that Tesla, these type of, it's a lot.
The
The technology,
recalls.
yeah.
And I'm like,
all that
please
stuff.
just wait until I'm dead and gone and my kids are dead
Yeah,
and gone.
right.
Give us just 200 more years.
yeah, at least 100. Come
Like,
on.
I want kids and I want my kids to just grow up and then do whatever you got to do after that.
Grandkids, they don't matter.
They ain't waiting on us.
Look,
They is
Oh,
not
man.
waiting on us.
All right. With that being said, then what's the silliest conspiracy to you? Like, what is hands down something that you've heard where you're just like, that's just ridiculous?
I think I know what you're gonna say.
you're not.
Okay, go.
Wait, what do you think I'm going to say?
Earth is flat.
We can go with that. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
There was one that Avril Lavigne had died, and there's an actress that looks just like her who's now living, and that they're using as her body
Replacement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of
Well, I blame
celebrities.
TikTok.
Hold on.
Either it's either clones or they've been
I ain't-
replaced.
I ain't-
identical.
Let's throw Jamie in there. My God, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. Oh, we were gonna talk about Jamie Foxx too.
Man, Jamie, that's Jamie. He healthy. He
Yeah,
good.
Jamie, a good
But
guy.
people were saying like he went through that big health scare and then he
Who
popped back up.
who
like,
possibly really could be cloned is Gucci Man. Goddamn. That dude went to prison, came back a whole new.
Okay, came back a snack. Keisha was like, "What's good?" Word.
He ain't have no belly, no lips, no
New
nothing,
teeth.
no grill in his mouth. That's crazy though.
That's
But I love his glow up, and
But
I'm
I-
happy for him.
Yeah. Shout out Gucci for real. Brr. But I know you said that one was silly, but I swear to God, I think the Michael Jackson one might be real.
What's okay? There's so many around him.
Is he
Oh my
the
God.
bodyguard? Is that what it was? Or?
No. He
Yeah, exactly.
it was a dude who was one of his stunt doubles
Okay.
who got
Michael
tra-
Jackson had a son double.
What? Are you serious right
To
now?
do what?
The moon.
Are you
Oh, see. That's why I
Are
do my
you
research.
serious? All right, yeah. All right, I'm gonna just let you do your research on that. But
Okay.
one of his lookalikes that he paid to do stuff when he wanted to go do normal stuff.
Mm.
Y'all can look it up, goddamn it. He want to go shop in Walmart
I've
and
seen
do all
some-
this
I mean,
other
I
stuff.
don't want to be disrespectful, but I mean,
His
after
double
the
in
multiple
life.
surgeries, I feel like Michael Jackson would have been a celebrity that it would be much easier to have a double because his features look so different.
There
so
we
you
go.
never you never go like, oh, well, his nose look different. It's like, well, his nose always kind of looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he
Interesting.
he basically this race will have to pop this stuff up.
There you go.
Anyway, he
He does our effects.
he
No, I follow
basically
it.
Michael Jackson, short in the story, he had his stunt double. He got terminally ill, and then he paid
Michael
him.
or the stunt double?
The stunt double did.
Got ill.
The stunt double did, and then he saw it as an opportunity to get out of his situation.
Wait, insert the smoke coming out of my ears and my mind being blown right now.
Yes.
I've never heard that, but that actually could make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Switcheroo.
So, I mean, because think about where his life was at this time. Everybody,
Yeah.
even still to this day, they trying to pin stuff on this man.
Yeah.
And then, so basically, and they say there's evidence out there that he paid that dude's family, and some of them kind of talk about it.
He said F that Indian.
Paid his family. The dude who was terminally ill only did it because it would take care of his family.
But, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
But where real Mikey at then? Because Michael Jackson ain't somebody who could just blend in with
So
society.
if you had surgeries that changed you before, would you do it again?
Ooh.
He changed himself again.
I'm
But
just really processing Michael Jackson's out here living his life as a white woman. I just know
a
it.
white woman.
I just know it. Now I'm going to be looking at some of these white women like,
You Michael
well,
Jackson?
Mikey.
No, but it's a dude out there. I'm pretty
Well, we
surprised
can
y'all
pop
haven't
up the
heard about
pictures
this.
for sure of what he looks
This
like.
dude right
yeah.
here, who's a burn victim or whatever or whatnot. You like that? But and he talks just like Michael, sounds like him. I forgot his name, but he
Wait.
was very close and nice.
Are you
And
Michael?
cool.
Because you're doing a really good
No,
impression.
I'm not. I'm not Michael.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, right? Like,
Cam,
You been
do not
Michael?
blow my cover.
Look, I'm about to, if I disappear, y'all, after this podcast, just know it's because I figured it out.
I wanted to go to college and play basketball.
This is my wildest dreams in Wichita. And talk to you, fine.
I mean, that'd be a good place to
Finally.
lay low for sure.
Don't let me
Okay.
take this mask off.
Oh,
No,
my
but
God.
yeah, but
White
that
chicks
one
moment.
could be true. And after you see this episode and you see what we popped up, you'll be
Yeah.
like,
I can't wait to hit the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a lot of plausibility.
What else you got, Race?
Well, okay, so for your spiritual situation, what do you think death is going to be like?
Not my spiritual situation.
Do you have an answer for yourself, or you just kind of wait until the end of the path to figure that one out?
Straight into it.
I don't know.
Do you want to hear
So you
ours
mean
to kind
like-
of give you an idea?
Like, I mean,
Like, you talking afterlife?
Yeah, after death. What happens after you die?
I mean, because, look, I grew up Christian, and so, of course, the whole, like, you know, heaven and hell has always been something that, you know,
it's there.
that is there.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but what if it's not? What if it's just emptiness? Like, or what if it's just nothing? Or what if you're in just
Stop
a
looking
black-
like that, Race.
You know, I like, who knows?
No,
Like,
I'm just saying
I
it's
don't
perfectly in
know.
between. That's awesome.
Yeah, I
'Cause
don't know.
We're
I
on
just,
either side of that, so
I'm like, please just let it be good.
yeah,
Whatever it is.
good or nothing. That's how I feel. Because if it's nothing, then I can't complain about it. You know what I mean?
But
If it's hell, then that's eternity. You know?
yeah, I'm like, but eternity of nothing.
Well, it wouldn't be eternity if you weren't like didn't have a consciousness anymore. Like you are nothing. So it's like being asleep, but like you're not dreaming.
Okay,
You know?
I could deadly not live. I could deadly live with that.
Yeah. See that's not
If-
as
if I
bad.
don't
It's
know
not
what's
as bad
going
as
on,
hell,
yeah,
at least.
I, mean, I don't know, but God,
But yeah, if you sit in like a black box for the rest of eternity, no, I'm good with that.
God, please take me to your
black
paradise.
box.
Yeah, I mean like a void,
I
you
would, I
know.
would much rather be in God's
For real.
the pearly gates.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So that's what you think is after death, Race? The black abyss?
Yeah, we talked about an episode before. You'll probably hear it if you watch through. I had a dream where I died through certain circumstances, and I was consciously realizing that I was in a void for quite a while. That kind of answered that one for me.
But
And then
what if that's your version of heaven because that's what you really prefer?
Morr-isMoore. Y'all,
Listen.
y'all need to
that's some stuff that messes me up because I've seen that depiction before. Is like it is what you make,
Yeah.
right? That's why if let's say the Egyptians, they believe going to this place where they have the sands and the boat and such,
Yeah.
and then Christians would just go to heaven, pearly gates, stuff like that. But if it's up to you, then I'm really gonna screw myself by thinking that way.
Changing
So
thoughts.
I'll keep an open mind
Got
towards that
Got it.
direction when we get there.
All right.
Yeah.
What else you got?
That's a really good point, though. That's a really good point.
They speaking facts.
Oh, okay. What's your biggest fear?
Snakes.
Snakes, okay.
Spiders.
Dude, I've had some
spiders worse than
dreams where
snakes.
snakes are all up on me, and you tear a head off. There's another one, you tear a head off. Oh, I don't like
my
it.
God. Find
You're
some
an
wood.
snake
Well,
head.
because
I
they're
don't even
biting
have
your
snake
arm.
dreams yet.
Just pulling them.
Yeah, I'm terrified of snakes.
Yeah, well, don't quit thinking about snakes. You don't want to have that dream.
So in the physical, snakes. In the spiritual, or just like, I think, I think most people have a fear of letting themselves down, being a failure.
True. Or not trying to succeed even.
Yeah.
Not giving yourself the chance to succeed.
And I think more so it's like, whatever it is you do, it's realizing that you could have done it, but you made certain decisions or choices.
Yeah.
And you're the reason why. I think that would suck more than anything.
More than anything. More than snakes. For sure. I really like that one.
I like that one too.
Yeah, I feel like you speak that by being who you are, as far as you carry yourself, because you take your work very seriously, and you aspire quite a lot. Some people are, well, they'll get to a spot and they're like, I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm not gonna learn anything new. I don't need to hit more challenges. But that seems like the opposite of who you are. You're like,
yeah, I do.
That next challenge, I'm gonna kick its ass.
Yeah.
I want one after this one.
Yeah.
And this one.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but I also want to be very clear, because again, so many years of my life, I was so focused on my career where I felt like my career is what defined me. I am at a point now where like, who I am at my core is just who I am, how I show up with work.
Yeah, and it's not even just challenges of work, but challenges of life.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not just, it doesn't stop when you clock out. It's everything.
I show up to my sets giving you Kimmy Kim the same way that I'm going to show up at the happy hour giving you Kimmy Kim. You know?
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of some good ones that would make sense, because some of these were for him and he's not a believer, so there's a lot of like, would you stop believing questions, stuff like that. All right, I want to ask you, this is going to be our running thing we do all the time, is cloning. So I don't think we asked. Okay, we have an unaired episode where we and him talked for like an hour and a half about cloning, and so since it got scrapped, we couldn't really. I think it came through the speakers on there, not these. Yeah. So we're like, it's in the trash now. But we had this long talk. It's a movie I've seen
from the beginning. Yeah.
So
you probably seen it. Infinity Pools.
Infinity Pool.
He ain't seen it.
I mean, I know what they are, but okay.
No,
not even. So I'll give you the very short version. Guy with his wife goes to a foreign country. They are I'm trying to think what they did. Oh, they're just hanging out with people on the beach. They meet this couple. She's like, oh, I've read your books, for the main character he writes. So he's like, oh, cool. And she's just talking up his books like crazy. They decide to go do a double date. So they drive out of the hotel facility, which is, gated up and everything. And they do their thing. She gets sexual with him and does some stuff while his wife's on the other side of the tent.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it just shows you what kind of person he is to let that happen. And they hang out till the rest of the night's over. Once it's nighttime, they drive home. Well, I don't really know how everything happens, but he's driving and his headlights start to like flicker out. Next thing you know, he hits a dude on the road because it's pitch black. Without the headlights, you can't see. So he hits this dude. They're freaking out. They're like, don't even worry about it. We're just going to leave, go back to the place. We'll be good. So they run up under there.
This is I know what you did last summer.
Yeah, they almost miss out on getting back in because they're like, oh, you don't have your pass or whatever. So they get back in. Next day, they show up essentially and are like, hey, what happened? Blah, blah. They sold him out completely, even though they were all there, all aware, And so the cops pick him up, take him down to their precinct type deal. And they're like, listen, like, they told us that you killed that guy. And he's like, no, I didn't. Like, the headlights, he explains his case. And they're like, no, sorry, it won't work. So instead of going to jail, you have the opportunity to pay.
No, it's death penalty, right?
Yeah. So the deal is
either kill yourself.
Well, so before you,
okay, go ahead.
The option essentially is, I don't think you can even go to prison. It's the child or the nearest kin to the family member gets to kill you. That's how you pay. It's an eye for an eye type deal. In that country, that's how it works in the movie.
Okay.
So it can be a kid, it can be the wife. It's usually, I think it's the kids.
A loved one killing you.
Yeah, a loved one is repaying that. So he's like, well, the only other option you have is we can make a new you. And they go on trial, they die, and you get to live on your life. So Exactly. So they go in this thing, they do all of his body, measure it out, get his mind, all that stuff, and he wakes up. They have him on a pole. Him and his wife are sitting like the sidelines, and they have to watch. They literally have to watch. Wow. So the kid walks up with a knife, and he just, like 40 times, just right in his stomach, and he's listening and watching himself get murdered. This man,
it's not like his conscience is in the clone.
100%.
Fully.
The moment he changed was when he got put on the pole and he went and stood on the sidelines. Otherwise, they were the same person up until that point, So with that question, again, they start meeting other people, and these other rich people commit crimes on purpose so that way they can keep doing that over and over. Their clone dies, but they can do whatever they want. So what are you going to say?
So the point we get to where me and him differ on this. His wife looked at him in the movie and was like, "You don't even care about the damn clone, do you?" Or whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, I do. I mean, no, not really," or whatnot. Yeah. And then she was like, got mad at him and left. And I was like, why the hell she pissed? She should be happy that he there. Yeah. What does she mean? She should be happy he in the room and he's safe, he good, and he not dead. So Race asked me.
Well, number one thing is she watched her husband get murdered. It doesn't matter that her husband was still right next to her.
Right next
she watched her husband get murdered either way, whether he's there or not. That's the trauma, that's the stuff you can't get over. You've seen it happen. Right. Now, the big question is, right, does that clone matter? Or are they just simply, it doesn't matter. You can kill them because they don't mean anything. He is on the side that the clone means nothing. I'm on the side that that's me. If you clone me, that Race is thinking the same way I'm thinking.
No.
Right? He has all my memories. He's thought every thought I've ever had. The moment that I'm cloned is the only time we're different identities. But and
it's still an image of someone that you once loved.
Yeah. I mean, it's beyond just the image.
Like, if you think of maybe a I don't want to say a parent or something, but think of it like a loved one. And even though it's technically not them, but you're having to still watch the image or just watch the visualization.
Watch yourself. You watch Kameron Mack die because of a choice you made.
That would be hard to watch.
But here, so this is the biggest question.
This is
the biggest question in it. Okay.
This is the most annoying thing because I still don't get why he chooses the answer he chooses. But
I don't get why you choose your answer.
Okay, let's go.
I'm in the middle, confused.
So what it came down to, the question was, would you do it? Right? If you're in the spot where you've done something, let's say
accidentally, he ran the person over with the headlights blinking, he didn't see.
But regardless, you've committed a crime, and this is the option to get out. Either you have to die, or you have to clone yourself, and that clone has to die.
Which one?
What are you going to choose based off the information we've given you? And tell us why.
The clone. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. You know what he said? I'll kill myself.
I won't kill myself, but I'm not going to bring somebody else into my position.
That's like putting a dummy out there. It's like just throw the dummy out there and beat up on him.
Okay.
Hang the dummy.
What makes it a dummy for you, though? Like, guess from your viewpoint, what makes them different from you?
It's not real.
But if it's you completely, like if you got switched out, there'd be no difference in your life.
It's no argument, bro.
To me, it's almost like a mannequin with my face on it. Like,
thank you.
Okay. Shoot it up, stab it, burn it, blow it up, rip its arms off. Do whatever you need to do. Just don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
See, but so me and him are on the same page.
Yeah.
But the twist is in the end, you don't know if they killing you or
if you were the clone.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, your choice, you made it to yourself.
I don't know.
Or
I'm about to shoot up the whole block because y'all not about to sit up here and have me acting all like because I made an accident. I'm like, if anybody else in here ain't never made an accident, like no,
facts.
That's facts.
I'm going out swinging. I'm on camera.
It's definitely. I'm like giving. Look, put a hook in my hand. I'm sorry.
All right, hold on. Let's go a little deeper. All right. Somebody busts into your crib.
This is kind of scary too.
Okay. Damn, you live here? Get your ass down here. Gunpoint. It's you, your dog, and your homegirl. He's like, one of y'all three about to leave. Your dog is in there. Woof, woof, dog.
You're going to cancel my ass. You don't even have to finish
Do you have
question.
animals? Do you have animals? Okay.
Just
You
exes.
gotta finish. I heard the answer. That's it. I wanted to hear that.
I'm not a dog.
He got
cat
2 dogs.
person.
He said, "Kill him."
This is why I need you to believe in something a little bit deeper.
All right. So I'm really against lives being taken. I don't think anyone has.
Sacrifice your,
I don't think anyone has the right to take a life. And again, like, yeah, if somebody's gonna be in my house, realistically, I will probably kill them in self-defense if I have to, right? But I'd like to avoid that the best I can. Like, shoot them in the knee or something,
Hey,
so
you
where no
got
one
more
dies.
Jesus in you
But
than
I
you
take
think.
lives seriously. I don't,
Come on now.
I just don't. I think that
whole man of God right here.
Right.
you don't have the choice to end someone's life. Would you agree with that?
Correct.
Or you don't have not the choice necessarily, but more of like we're all equal. So it's not like I'm a higher life form where I can choose that your life is worth less or something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right?
Stop lying.
But what would
I
you
mean,
say?
humans are
You talking about the
the
dog?
This
greater
is what I
species.
live for right here.
Humans are the greater species, and I think in order to keep the world, I mean, obviously we're also killing the world, but like,
That's facts.
I'm sorry, me being alive is going to do a lot more good for the greater community.
I can see that you're
and
thinking
to humanity.
Then Lassie
after.
being alive, right?
I just,
And
man,
little
I
Cujo.
have
Come on.
a really good, sweet boy of a dog, and he has done nothing wrong.
But you need to ask yourself this question.
So I
Thank
can't
you.
put it
You
on
got a
him.
whole
But
wife.
ask yourself this question. Would you be able to survive in a world without the dog? Or will the dog be able to survive in the world without you?
Well, he'll still have my wife.
Oh my God.
Okay.
They can
Wait.
enjoy each other's comfort
So
in my absence.
you think the greater
Feel my pain, Cam.
is your wife
Feel my pain.
losing you but having her dog versus losing her dog but having you?
Yeah.
I think you and your wife need to have a really in-depth conversation about
Listen,
y'all's
I couldn't.
until death do
This
you.
is
It would be a big
That's
deal because
real.
I can't live with it. The only power I have is to decide if I live or die.
Bro.
I shouldn't have power over anyone else's ability to live or die.
I'm not gonna say.
So
this
if it's a
again.
choice between me and anything else, I'm gonna have to choose me.
All right, Race. I'm gonna be mad as hell. You show up dead, and the dog and Val still good. Cause, dude, I love Cooper, but you can get another Cooper.
I know.
Have you heard?
I mean, he won't even live as long as I. Obviously, me. Not
Exactly.
even fully, but
I'm sure you didn't.
I just can't.
I'm sure you didn't wander on the Black Twitter, and on Black Twitter, there's a little phrase that we like to say: "Fucking kids." Fuck.
That's real.
I'm gonna need you to have that
I know it
energy
is.
towards your Chihuahua that you can go down to Petco.
No,
and
he's an
replace.
Australian Shepherd. Okay.
Nobody
He's
cares.
very sweet and furry.
And I love that for him. And
No,
I
I'm
pray he
joking.
lives a
I'm
long
joking.
life. And I pray that you never end up in that scenario because I'm real concerned for you.
Yes. Like,
Yeah, I'd hope
bro,
that's not the
Val,
scenario I'd have
Val
to get
should
into.
be concerned about that.
Yeah.
If Race, if somebody break into our house,
I mean, they
They
killed the
put all
dog.
of
The
us
dog
at
ain't got life
gunpoint.
insurance at least, so there's some money.
dude.
He said, it's
You
either
don't
me
have to-
or you. They get to steal my laptop. Just kill me. Just don't take my laptop.
All right.
Oh,
Well, I'm glad you on my
well, that's
page
settled.
with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He's happy to have someone over there for sure.
I'm happy he has you. I'm concerned about your wife having you, because now I see you will leave her high and dry,
See,
but
it's
I'm
not.
happy your
It's not
dog.
about leaving her. It's not like I would want to do that, but it's like, what's the alternative?
Cooper dying. That's
Somebody
the
dies,
alternative.
right? Somebody dies outside my control,
Yeah.
or well, actually inside my control. That's what makes it worse. I just
And
couldn't
you're
live with
saying
it.
it's you.
I couldn't live with it,
Okay, so hold on.
but I could live. I
If
couldn't
they
live at all if I
ask
died.
Valerie, if they ask Valerie, and she says kill you, you would be happy with that.
So no, she would probably choose me over the dog.
Y'all edit these, right?
Yeah, we do.
You might want to cut that
No,
part out.
she knows. But my point is again is
Your math
focus
is,
on your choice, which is only you.
I'm
You don't
learning that
control
there's a thing
nobody.
called race math. Because the way your math is not mathing for me. So I'm like, if 2 + 2 is 4, and
See-
if there's a dog and this and this, and then but if it's a wife and this, the way
ain't
that
making
the
sense.
equations ain't equaling sense to
You
me.
should have killed yourself.
But look, every formula in this world leads to something, and if that works for you,
I hope
Lassie,
you grow on that
and your
question.
wife,
I hope you grow on that.
Grow on it.
by episode 10.
Please.
Yeah,
Something.
I hope that for you too. Because I actually want you to be my friend. I think we're building a bond and a friendship.
Yeah.
And I would hate to hear
I'm not going anywhere
one
anytime
day
soon.
you sacrifice yourself.
I don't think I'll have to. I'm not worried.
For a dog that got 30
They got 15 years tops
15.
usually. Yeah. I would say
Wow.
probably 18 tops. So yeah.
in a human
I'm
lifetime.
already
You're like,
7
no,
older.
forget what I can do over a span of 100 plus years as a human. My dog deserves the full 15. No. Mm-mm.
I don't
More,
know.
I'm gonna need
It
more
just-
from you.
It comes down to just like, man,
Bro, Logic, please.
I love my
Come
dog.
on.
Right, Logic.
I love my dog. I love my wife. I'm not gonna.
Again, I
Hey,
love that
you're
for you.
big-hearted. Like we said, you got more
No, I
Jesus
just-
in you than you thought, buddy.
It's hard, bro.
You got more Jesus in you than you
Good.
thought.
Well, we covered cloning.
I'm happy we got through that because I was nervous.
No, yeah, it was nothing crazy.
Is that everything
All right.
you got?
Do you have something?
No, I ain't.
Okay. We're about to hit like an hour 40 or so. We're not doing too bad.
How long are your episodes
So
normally
I'll hit you
go?
with 2 more specific.
This is short. This is short.
And then I want to see. Do you have? Well, we did a 3. We're editing a 3-hour one right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today,
What did
actually.
I sign up for?
Nah, you get
No, we'll get you out of here by 12:30.
He lying,
That
he
little
lying, he
sooner.
lying.
AM. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Is there a pillow or something nearby?
No bathroom either over here. So that's
Oh
one
my
of the failings.
gosh.
So many questions.
So, all right, I got 2 left. So, number 1, this is one we've dealt with as well. How do you feel about immortality? And then the second part would be, would you take the opportunity to be immortal if you could, or would you deny doing it?
I feel like with that, it really
And what
just comes down
circumstances
to
do
the
you need?
terms.
Okay, what kind of terms are you looking for then?
Like,
Like you're invulnerable. Like technically, like well, again we talked about, once the Earth's gone, I mean you would still be alive. You'd be floating in space.
of course, me being a movie guy, it reminds me of the movie with Blake Lively, The Age of, I think you pronounce it like Adeline or something.
Age of Adeline, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
And
example.
one thing, I thought it was a really great concept, but one thing that I realized at the end was so sad is like, I don't think that I would want to live my life and not die and then have to watch people I love get old
Outgrow
and
your
die.
children. Yeah.
You know? So I think that would be kind of hard.
Yeah.
So I just feel like if I can't experience it with someone else, it would be hard to live a life of immortality.
Be pointless.
Yeah,
This would be pointless,
I think so. You know,
We're
and then it's
social
like, what
creatures.
age? Can I pick the age? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
We say like right now. Like it would
Yeah.
happen right this moment. Again, you're invulnerable. So I mean like you couldn't, nobody could stop you
Yeah.
either. You could do whatever you wanted essentially.
but again, Earth is ghetto. I'm not trying to be here no longer than I have to be. Like, and it don't look like it's getting any better. So I'm just like, another century. Like,
That's good.
if it's this bad, I definitely don't want to stick around for whatever's to come.
Yeah.
You know?
You heard him?
That's good. So you would not.
No.
I don't know. Is there any other superpower options? Or, like,
I mean, you would be able to get infinite knowledge because it wouldn't stop you from learning. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
when it
people
comes
are
down to
gone.
it, bro, the Earth's gone. You're floating to the next planet, and you got to do that.
I
There's
mean,
no
that's a little
rest.
different.
But there's no rest for you. There's no heaven at the end. You're just until the universe itself, I guess,
And then
goes.
never seeing loved ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be sad.
Yeah, that's sad. Everybody you know dies.
Unless it's like a stipend that come with it, so I can at least be living like the best life, like you
Yeah.
know, a life of luxury. Or now that we're in this era, I want to be a rock star. Now, like you know, if I
Well,
can't do all of that,
You
then
can literally learn how to play every instrument. You can do
That's a lot.
magic
Seems like
tricks.
too much work.
That's a lot of time.
I'm like, I
You,
ain't got-
but you have eternity to do it though.
yeah.
Infinite time.
But what if it takes a lifetime to be skilled enough to even get the opportunity?
Well,
to,
that's only what 0.01% of your life at that point. A lifetime.
which actually sounds worse.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I think it would be cool, but it would have to have an off switch.
Yeah.
Be like, actually, I'm
Fountain of
dying.
Youth, I would love to look like this. But grow old in age, and then
Yeah.
once you get to that certain date, and that's a date, but not physically age.
Yeah, look like you are until you would actually die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll rock with that.
We starting to get there technology wise.
Very
If
true.
y'all didn't know,
Yeah.
I've seen them bounce people back on some surgeries like crazy, like looking freaking 70, and then now you 40.
Back 17.
Yeah,
Scary
That's
out
wild.
here. It's scary.
that is wild.
Yeah.
All right, last question I have specifically for you. Boop, 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 boop. All right, what?
Like, hurry up.
No, you're good. Honestly, I was doing an energy check. I was like, Cam, you still got energy? And I'm like, yeah, you good, you good.
Check the gauges out. What's something that someone can do or I should say, what's irredeemable to you? What's an irredeemable action, like the most irredeemable, that you think is someone that can't come back from? Either like personally, if you're friends with somebody, or if you're just talking about an act that if someone in the world that they can do where you've lost all self or all respect for them. They can't come back.
Most things that would harm a child.
Ooh,
I like that.
I like that too.
That's probably about as bad
I
as you
think
can
that's
get
what
right
I
there.
said too.
Yeah.
I said the same. I said touching my son, Kobe.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Can't.
Because that's
Don't
just
do-
you've gone way too far at that point.
Yeah.
There's a lot of irredeemable people in the world.
Outside of that,
Period.
Have you guys seen Sound of Freedom?
No.
You said
Really?
what?
Sound of Freedom?
South Central?
Sound of freedom. You're stupid.
No, I haven't. What's that?
It's on Prime now, so I got to watch it. But it's
Okay.
it's about child trafficking and
Oh my God! Yes,
Yes.
I've seen the trailer. It came out like this year.
yeah,
I
because
heard
people
it
were
was
saying
good.
there was ACs out in the theaters. They were trying to stop it.
Who's the lead?
Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, I heard it was good. Some of my friends went and saw it, and they were like, "It's one of the best movies. It's
Yeah.
a great
I'm
story."
gonna check it out.
It takes until the end before it tells you. I mean, maybe I missed it where it says true story, but it tells you the main character, like what that it was factual, what he looks like, all
White
that
guy
stuff.
decides to become a hero.
Yeah,
It's one of those.
it's one of those. But it's a good one of those, considering
I'm
what he
gonna check it
did
out,
at the
though.
very least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it's called Sounds of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. Okay.
Yeah, because they're trying to free the kids. Yeah, that one just kind of fucked me up quite a bit.
Yeah. I'm so happy you brought that movie back up because I completely forgot about it, but it definitely was on my list at one point. And
It's
I
on
got it.
Prime, so you got Prime, you watch it.
I sure do.
Yeah, there you go.
Got
sure
prom
do.
too.
It is, yeah. I think it's like 2 hours and 4 minutes. It's not too bad.
It could be
but-
3. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it could be 3.
Facts. But yeah,
All right. Do you have any more specific questions?
no more here.
Do you have any questions for us, or maybe Shaq, just because you haven't seen him?
No,
in forever?
actually, before you go, I do want to question: how much can we pay you to do some creative here? Because we, as you can tell,
We were talking
We
about
haven't hit that
work-life
pay
balance
grade
earlier,
yet.
and you also have to know when to not put something else on your plate. But
So,
I'm open
zero.
for look, I'm open for new opportunities. If the bag is right, the opportunity is right, the timing is right. So it's not a no, it's a let's talk about it.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Once we reach your pay grade,
No shade. But, no, I'm
Hey.
I work with people at all different levels and
That's
stuff.
You want Cam? You gotta come with the bag.
come
But
loaded.
tell people what you got going on right now. What's next for you? Where to find your socials and everything like that.
Yeah, and we can do the same thing. So again, I'll ask you after the show too. Instagram, if you have a YouTube channel, all that stuff, I can put links in the description. We can pop it all on screen.
Yeah.
Make sure we get you shout out properly.
Yeah, I just think next year is all about just the elevation of Cam in all of the ways, all of the forms. And so I just look forward to just creating more content, telling more stories, pushing more important messages out to the greater world, and just hoping that the content just continues to impact and make the world a better place, and to educate and inform people about different topics, people, backgrounds, all type of things. So that's what is ahead, and that will be in various different forms and through various different projects. People can continue to follow my journey on socials. I'm most active on Instagram at Kameron_DePaul, KAMERON _DEPAUL. I'm basically on everything, but Instagram is my bread.
Your hot spot.
Yeah, it's my hot spot. It's the platform that I'm the most active.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
perfect.
Well, y'all know what the problem at. You got anything else? No.
I've run through all my stuff.
Yeah, this was so fun.
Man, hey,
I love
We're
coming
glad,
into
we're
this blind
glad.
too, because had I
That's
knew
its
some
own
of
journey.
those questions and the clone combos and the conspiracies, I would have been here like spiraling, trying to remember. Like, I'm happy that it was just like, no, just sit down, just trust the process.
Hey,
Well, there's like pros and cons, right? Like if you prepare for it, then you can say
We knew
exactly
you had
how
PR
you
training.
think.
Yeah,
But if you're not ready at the same time, like it's fresh and it's real.
more organic.
But then
and-
you're kind of like, oh, actually, I should have thought this way, later on. But that's the fun of it.
yeah, but
know,
no, you guys
so-
were great. This has been great.
You're
I'm
great.
So happy
Of
that
course, man.
I got to sit down on the Morr-isMoore show.
Heck
yeah.
I feel like I got to give y'all like a really fun promo line. Like, yo, the Morr-isMoore show, hands down, one of my favorite podcasts I've ever been on.
Boom.
Shout
I
out to y'all.
appreciate that, man. No,
Heck
for real.
yeah.
That's dope. Appreciate y'all. Y'all heard it here from Kameron Mack himself. Go follow him. Keep up with him. As well, thank you again for, letting us, shed light on you. Because, we're happy that you from the 316 and out here standing up for people like us that want to be successful. And you doing it right.
Mad
and you
truth.
came and shed that light. So thank you again, Cam Mack. And for y'all who watching, appreciate you watching. This is the
Morr-isMoore
podcast. This is the Morr
Mac.
podcast.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all coming through that wormhole. Go home.
Bye.